Michael Jonah here, January 23rd, 2016. We have had a little bit of a stir going on regarding Senate Joint Resolution 29, a resolution to authorize the use of United States armed forces against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and its associated forces, which of course includes ISIS and Al-Qaeda. We have 4 co-sponsors of this bill, the main sponsor being Senator Mitch McConnell. The other co-sponsors are Lindsey Graham, Daniel Coates, Indiana, Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah, and this lady here, Senator Joni Ernst. Okay, Iowa. So we still have the usual Republican suspects. I hate to use that term, but they always seem to be advancing bills that and policy that, well, you wouldn't think a Republican would do given the current administration we have. So what's the problem with this bill or this resolution? Well, it authorizes the use of armed forces by the executive branch, by the president, as the president sees fit, to defend the national security interest of the United States outside of the territory of the United States, the borders of the United States, and within the borders of the United States. That is extremely disturbing. Now, one has to ask the question, after 9/11, what was the whole point of the Patriot Act, Department of Homeland Security, Transportation Security Agency, fusion centers, Joint Terrorism Task Force, in every state. We can go on and on and on. NSA, spying. We could just go on for quite a while here. Billions and billions of dollars, billions, have been spent, and ungodly amounts of money every year is spent in the name of national security. So the question is, why is it that now the President of the United States has to be given complete, total, discretionary power to use United States armed forces as he sees fit against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and its associated forces? And of course, we all know that this administration, has been very instrumental in the creation, funding, and training of forces in the Syrian theater, the Iraqi theater, to be used against Syria because Assad must go. So here we go. It's a problem, action, solution, Hegelian Dialectic, Ordo Ab Chao, staring us right in the face. Okay, we all have seen the chaos of Muslim refugees in Europe, all of the issues being raised because this administration wants to just bring in refugees, Muslim refugees, Syrian refugees. They really can't vet these refugees, but yet they want to bring them. They want to just bring thousands and thousands and thousands of them and bring them within the borders against the will of many states. Okay, and generally the United States, the American people, are not thrilled at all with what they see. So they've created the problem. They've imported the problem within our borders. Now, because these Islamic radicals are bent on attacking the homeland, now we have to give the president absolute discretionary power in the use of United States armed forces within the borders of the country. So what's going on here? Now, we can, my suggestion, number one, is sign up with the Congress.gov to get alerts for this bill, okay, or this resolution. So you could follow it, and then you could scroll down the page here. You have all actions. 2, you'll note on January 20th, 2016, CRS 133-134. Let's click on that. You have the congressional record, and it gives you articles on this page. Let's go down to S133. Let's hit the PDF. Cool. Let's open it. Oh, I got to retry. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to hit this again. Let me try again. Okay, open. There we go. Now you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner, S133 is cut off the page number, but you'll see Mr. McConnell, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the text of the joint resolution be printed in the record. And then they go down the laundry list, of course, you know, different beheadings, you know, the beheadings that we saw videos of that were questionably, might have been staged, or, you know, they were just not convincing oftentimes, and various attacks, including the recent Paris attacks, and, you know, the whole laundry list. And then, of course, because of all these things that we've seen, many of them which people have questioned, we need to pass this resolution. And of course, here's pretty much the meat of it right here. This joint resolution may be cited as the authorization for the use of military force against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and its associated forces, which we all know includes ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and some might even argue the Muslim Brotherhood. But, you know, I'm not going to go there, okay? Because the Muslim Brotherhood are our friends, and yes, they're in the White House. You know, I don't know what they're doing within the White House with this administration, but, you know, they're there. Okay. So one has to ask the question, what's happening here exactly? Are we on the verge of a significant war? Is there an economic collapse expected anytime soon? Are there continued, are we looking at climate chaos, natural disasters that are going to really require a martial law type of an environment within the borders of this country? You also have the Nibiru, Planet X, Nemesis crowd out there that thinks that 2016 is the year. It's going to be here. You know, there's various videos that have been up that are several, quite a few actually, that are quite interesting, but they haven't been vetted. So we don't know if those are real. Bottom line, something big is coming down the pike, or is this another move to create a dictatorial, complete dictatorial office within the executive branch to really another fascistic move to completely subjugate the United States under a dictatorship? Because that's what this sounds like to me. Sign up for the alerts, follow this bill, talk with your elected representatives. Thank you for listening.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors. For as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it.
The report is that the president is dead. The word we have is that he is dead, that he was shot by an assassin at the intersection of Elm and Houston Streets just as he was going into the underpass. The word we have is from a doctor on the staff of Parkland Hospital who says that it is true. He was in tears when he told me just a moment ago.